Hi, this is Shannon Cherry from BeHeardSolutions.com, where I help you find your voice, tell your story, and be heard. You know, there comes a point in every businesswoman's life. They're struggling. They're not getting over this one hump. And then the light bulb goes on, and a major shift happens. And I have to tell you, that happened for me. But before I go into that story, I want to tell you how I took that shift and made it into a more profitable and more satisfying business for my life. Well, first, let's get into some of the strategies I use to make more money in less time. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit of how my shift happened, what the priority was to take a look at these things and start making them happen. You see, these were things that were making me leave money on the table. And I don't want you to do the same thing. So my goal is not only to show you where you're leaving money on the table, but how to stop it and start making more money quickly. So let's begin. Are you a marketer? Now think about that for a minute. Most people say no, because here's the thing. No matter what business you're in, no matter what you do for a living, you are a marketer, first and foremost. It's one of the hardest concepts to get, even for people who market others for a living. If you don't market yourself and your expertise, your business has little chance in succeeding. Count the tombstones of the businesses out there. Only half of small businesses created in the last 5 years are going to make it. That's according to the U.S. Small Business Administration Office. That means your business has a 50% chance of making it. Sure, as a more experienced entrepreneur, coach, or consultant with a few years under your belt, your odds are better than most. But the statistics don't lie. The sooner you realize that no matter what business you're in, you're also in the business of marketing yourself, the better. Because if you don't, you have no business. Look, the world is changing. The pace of change is accelerating even faster every day, and the population of small businesses is expanding faster than their business clients. As a matter of fact, with the recent recession, more than 1 million people, 1 million people who lost their jobs have now hung out the shingle as coach or consultant. That means there's 1 million more people in the world doing what we're doing. So this is why the battle for clients and customers and the battle for recognition in the marketplace is the single biggest concern that businesses of all sizes face in the war for survival. Look, I'm sure many of you are thinking, well, Shannon, that's easy for you to say. You're a marketer, so telling people they need to be a marketer only benefits you. Well, that's not the case. You see, as a former journalist turned PR pro, the truth was very important to me. Actually, truth is essential to my being. The truth, justice, and fairness was exactly why I went into business for myself. You see, back in 2002, I started a new job just after getting married for a newly formed PR firm in my area. One day, the boss called me into his office for a meeting with a client. Instead of congratulating me for getting the client on Good Morning America, my boss attempted to humiliate me. You see, this guy felt instilling fear was the best way to motivate staff. So he called me every name in the book, peppered with a lot of retarded and stupid, because I only got the client on Good Morning America instead of all the morning programs. So I walked out and left the building. When I called my new husband in tears, he asked me to meet him for lunch. At lunch, he handed me a piece of paper. On it was a domain name he purchased. He said, not only can you do it better than him, Shannon, but you can do it on your own terms, without the BS he thinks works. So I started my own business, with truth and fairness as a staple for everything I did. And it's still part of my business today. And as a part of my mission for fairness, I ignored the importance of marketing, seeing it as a box of charlatans' magic tricks. So I struggled, was left behind, kept waiting for the phone to ring, and frankly, felt like pitching the whole thing and getting a new job. You see, the science of marketing and business development is at the core for getting clients and customers. And yet, ironically, this critical business discipline is still shunned by many who think it as nothing more than a cheap advertising campaign and unseemly begging. I certainly thought so at the time. The study of markets, also known as marketing, is what fuels the success of every profitable business. And yet, most small business owners, coaches, and consultants still don't really understand the marketing function. Marketing is not just advertising, and it's not a bunch of used car sales techniques. It's the study of why your clients buy your services, what services they buy, when and how they make buying decisions, what they're willing to pay for those services, what would make them buy more, what other products and services they want from you, what causes them to defect, and what causes them to stay with you. In short, it's the essential understanding of how your cash register rings. So once you become a marketer, you'll find that you'll get more targeted prospects, and those prospects will connect with you, which means you will increase your cash. So let's do a little exercise. Stand up. Okay, I know this is tough because you're just listening to this. I want you to stand up. I'm standing up right now. Stand up with me and say these words. I am a marketer. Are you ready? I am a marketer. Okay, I know that some of you are still not standing up, but please keep repeating I am a marketer for yourself over and over again. I know it worked for me and can work for you too. Now let me ask you another question. Are you consistently following up with your customers and subscribers? And when I say consistently, I mean more than twice a month, with upsells, downsells, and horizontal sells, not just more tips and ideas. A lack of consistent follow-up is one of the most common mistakes I see even experienced entrepreneurs make all the time. They don't ever follow up after the initial free offer or even after the sale. Let's just take an example of when someone signs up for your list by downloading your free report. You see, new email subscribers are like milk. They have a best buy date on them, which means you should handle them carefully to avoid spoilage. Now typically, these new subscribers are your most enthusiastic prospects. However, if you ignore them or turn up the heat on them too fast, they're going to curdle. And here's the thing. Studies show that you need to touch your new prospect at least 17 times in order for them to know, like, and trust you. So that means if you're only sending them your e-zine or email newsletter as follow-up, and you do that once a week, it's more than 4 months before you hit that magic number. And I can tell you that's way past any sell-by date. But I know it can be hard to follow up without feeling creepy or pushy. But it is our responsibility to keep following up with our prospects until we know for certain if they want to do business with us. So here are some ideas to follow up in a way that increases your visibility, shows off your expertise, and more importantly, lands more sales. The first is create a series of autoresponders. Email autoresponders allow you to keep reaching out to your prospects without you having to do it each time someone signs up with their email address. And the best part is everything is done automatically for you because it's triggered when a prospect submits their email address. So that means you can simply set up your system once and it keeps working over and over again like a tireless money-making robot, making sure no prospect ever slips through the cracks. Think of it as an automated welcome package for every prospect or customer. Here's another idea. Send a thank you note. Sure, you can send out an email thank you and even make a phone call, but nothing beats a good old-fashioned thank you note sent via the U.S. Postal System. For some reason, being able to decipher handwriting and the feel of a card in your hand just makes you feel more special. So if you want to make an impact, make your clients and prospects feel like they're important. send them a handwritten note within a week of meeting them or when they purchase. I promise you, they're going to love it. Here's another idea: one-time offers. As a marketer, you are losing out on a great source of income if you're not utilizing one-time offers. A one-time offer is simply an upsell of an enhanced product or a cross-sale of a related product. If you are selling, for example, an inexpensive product, say $27 report, why not attempt to upsell the customer while you have them on your site? You can set up a one-time offer on any page. Just carefully plan your approach. The page with your one-time offer should make it clear to the customer that he or she is only going to see this page one time. Once they click the "No Thank You" link, the offer is gone forever. I think these strategies that I'm sharing with you are pretty impactful, and I wish I had time to share all of them with you, because there are a lot more ways you might be leaving money on the table. I mean, there's the one thing that America's first billionaire said he couldn't survive without. And then there's the Take Action, More Money strategy number 7, which Plato, Ben Franklin, and even Jack Canfield from the Chicken Soup for the Soul series have said made the difference in people simply observing or taking action on their offers. But unfortunately, I'm running out of time here. But I want to tell you these strategies really do work. As a matter of fact, they have helped me create the business of my dreams. Because you see, I haven't told you the whole story of how I stopped these money leaks and transformed my business into success on my own terms. Now, you already know how justice and fairness were my motivating factors for my business. That's why I came up with the name Be Heard Solutions for my business, to help more people find their voice, tell their story, and be heard. But a little thing happened along the way. Actually, 2 little things. These 2 girls, my twin daughters, Lyra and Sasha, were born. Now, my business was doing okay, but not great. And I have to admit there were many months that I barely broke even. But all in all, we had a great life. Then, around the age of 2, something happened to my girls that would change our lives and how I approached my business forever. They were both diagnosed with autism. If you don't know what autism is, it's a developmental disorder that affects social and communication skills. Essentially, my girls couldn't talk. They couldn't share their feelings, couldn't, ironically, find their voices, tell their stories, and be heard. So I realized my business, Be Heard Solutions, wasn't just created to help others, but Be Heard Solutions was created for me, to help my own kids, for me to be their voice until they could find their own. I needed more time with them and more time to be their advocate, and I needed more money to make sure their needs were met. So I took a good look at my business and saw I was leaving money on the table by not using some of the techniques I shared with you on this video, and even some more. So I revamped my business and became the marketer I should have always been. And guess what? Things shifted. Today, not only do I make a great living, but I also work only 25 to 27 hours a week. I'm able to be there for my girls almost every day when they get on the bus and return home from school. And we take lots of time off for family fun. Our family goes boating nearly every weekend in the summer. We take vacations to New York City several times a year. We go a couple weeks a year to the coast of Maine, and even travel to England to visit the girls' grandparents. And my business is completely cash-based, meaning I don't have any debt, including credit card debt for my business. And I'm not sure how many business owners can say that. But more importantly, because I have been an advocate for my girls, I am proud to say they have gotten some of the best care and therapies around. And I am grateful that every day my girls say, "I love you" to me, and they are heard. So now it's time for me to help you be heard too. If you want to stop leaving money on the table, I want you to check out my free report at BeHeardSolutions.com, where you'll get some additional strategies to stop leaving money on the table. So just go to www.beheardsolutions.com. I'm Shannon Cherry, and you will be heard.